Hey guys, this is a tag response to Return to Mother Base. Ari Lewis 2011 started kind of a tag video where he wanted to know people's he wanted to know items from their gaming past. So kind of items and games that kind of shaped them or defined them as a gamer. And this has kind of been moving along. I guess this is my first tag video. Apparently they were pretty big years ago in the YouTube gaming community and they've kind of died off, but I guess this is my first one, and Return to Mother Base tagged me, so I thought I'd show three items related to my gaming past, and kind of how they define me as a gamer. And there's a couple stories with them too. The first game is Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Now, the interesting thing with this game is the fact, well, like, Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games of all time. That game is just a masterpiece, and when it came out, I bought it for full retail price. It was one of the first games I ever bought with my own money. Loved it to death, so when I found out a sequel was coming out, along with pretty much everybody else, it was super exciting to finally get and play this game. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford it. I had to rent this game. And the thing with Majora's Mask is, now it's kind of... At the time it came out, it got great reviews, but I know a lot of people were disappointed in it, and I gotta say, I kind of was too. The time limit was the big thing with a lot of people. A lot of people didn't like how the time limit worked and how you kind of had to rush through the game, although really you don't have to. It's not really that bad. And anyways, the thing with this game, I rented this game, and I played it, and I actually quite enjoyed it. Now, I knew that Ocarina of Time was still better at that time, and I still kind of prefer Ocarina of Time, but this game kind of made me appreciate atmosphere in video games. That's how this game shaped me as a gamer. I had never really thought about atmosphere in games before, and this game generally kind of scared me, because I was kind of young when this came out. I wasn't that old. I was 10 or something when this came out, so the creepy atmosphere of this game and that moon, the moon just freaked me the hell out. And the weird thing with this game is I rented it 3 times. It took 3 times to finally finish it. And the weird thing is, I don't know why, but every time I rented this game, I got sick. Like, I got a major flu every time I rented this game. And this was, I would rent it, make progress, and I'd do this thing where I rented it from Blockbuster, and I'd mark the case that this particular cartridge was in to know that my save file was on there. So, like, later down the line, a couple months later when I'd rent it again, I knew which copy was mine. So I actually was able to do that and finish the game eventually, but the weird thing is I got sick all 3 times playing the game. My appreciation for this game has rised pretty significantly, too. Now I consider it probably one of the best Zelda games, probably one of the greatest games of all time, and part of that is due to the atmosphere. I think this game gets the atmosphere down like no other Zelda game has before, and the time limit is actually what made this game so unique. I think it has the best storyline in the Zelda game and the best characters, because these characters change day to day throughout the 3 days. And I don't know, it's just a phenomenal game that I'll always remember because of me getting sick, and also the fact that I took note of atmosphere in games more after this. I know shortly after there was Silent Hill 2. That's another game that really got atmosphere right. But yeah, definitely a great part of my childhood in Majora's Mask. The next game is Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Tales fan. It's actually my favorite RPG series of all time. Even though I still haven't played Tales of Destiny and Tales of Eternia yet. Those are the only 2 North American released Tales games I haven't played yet. Now with this game, what this game did was rejuvenated my interest in RPGs. I began playing RPGs in the Super Nintendo era with games like the 7th Saga, Earthbound, and Super Mario RPG. And I liked those games, I loved them. I love them even more now. But back then, I wasn't too bright. I didn't really know how to get through those games. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And this is really the first RPG where I figured out I figured out how to play the game properly. Because after the Super Nintendo, all through the N64 era, I didn't play any RPGs. I think Paper Mario was the only one. And I played that actually after I'd played this. I played that game way later. I know there was Ogre Battle 64. My one friend really loved that game. I just never again, at that time, I don't know, I didn't understand RPGs. This is the game that got me into RPGs again, and what solidified them as my favorite genre. This isn't my favorite Tales game. That's with that said, though. I think Tales of Vesperia I do prefer, but this is my second favorite Tales game, and it's fantastic. And I'll always remember too with this game, the story with this game. I remember the hype for this game was actually pretty insane. I remember reading, like, I was constantly on GameFAQs waiting for this to release because everybody was just starved for an RPG on the GameCube. So everyone was really excited to play this. I remember going in, buying it day one, and then playing it multiplayer with my brother and one of my close friends, which it's the only time I've ever gone through this multiplayer. The problem with that is, though, they spend a lot of time watching the first player play the game. That's always the problem I've had with the multiplayer in the Tales games. It's nice to have, but I don't know, I don't really find it that engaging because of that reason. But we'd get like halfway through the game, my brother would quit, he just gave up, and then we'd get a bit farther and my friend quit. So the rest of the game I just kept trucking and finished the game. But yeah, this is definitely a great item of my gaming past because it basically rejuvenated my interest in RPGs. And since this game, RPGs, JRPGs in particular, are my favorite genre. Now, I'm kind of cheating a bit with this next game. This is the last game. And that's Super Smash Bros. Melee. I'm substituting this for the N64 version. I don't actually own that yet. A lot of games from my past I actually need to acquire again, because I sold off like a lot of games when I was growing up, which was a mistake. But Super Smash Bros. Was the first game that made me take note of multiplayer. Before Smash Bros. On the N64, and I actually got my N64 with Smash Bros. I didn't get it on release day. Like with pretty much all consoles, I got it way later when Smash Bros. Came out. I got the N64 and Smash Bros. The day Smash Bros. Came out, and I remember it was my birthday, and I invited friends over just to play Super Smash Bros. I didn't even know really what the game was about. My parents just bought it for me, and we played that game non-stop. Like, this was like 2 days and 2 nights non-stop. We didn't go to bed. We just constantly played the game. Such great memories playing that game. And while I do prefer Melee, I have much more nostalgic memories with that game, and that got me into local multiplayer. From then on, I played games like Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, and I just had a blast with them. So that's basically what Super Smash Bros. Did. A little funny story with that too. With the N64 controller, I don't really have one here to show, but what I'd do is you'd have to hold it, the middle stick part of it, and use your left hand to operate the analog stick. I didn't know that's how you were supposed to use the N64 controller. I actually held it like a normal standard controller, and kind of my right thumb extended all the way to the analog stick. And I played Super Smash Bros. And the N64 itself for like a good 5 months or so before I realized that that's not how you use the controller, which was kind of funny. But yeah, those are the 3 items from my gaming past. There's a bunch of others I wanted to show, but that would be cheating. Diablo on the PC is a game that really shaped my how I play games. But I don't own a copy of that. Spear of Destiny on the PC is another one. I don't own that. The Sims is another one. A lot of PC games actually. Really, PC games actually. I learned a lot from them too. But now for the 3 people I want to tag. First, I want to tag SNESmapper. He's a great YouTuber. He's been with me since the beginning. I think he was one of my first 5 subscribers. So I'm definitely grateful for that. He's got a fantastic channel. Definitely check him out if you haven't. So I'm going to be tagging SNESmapper. The second YouTuber I'm going to tag is Devil May Pie. Now, he's a relatively new person in the gaming community, and his channel is quickly becoming one of my favorites. His tastes in games and movies are very similar to mine. His reviews are done in this really awesome style. Production values on his videos are great. He's got a lot of interesting topics. Definitely check out Devil May Pie, and I'm going to be tagging him. And lastly, I'm going to tag Seth Brown Bomber, who's another YouTuber that's new to the community. Basically, he's got some pickup videos right now. And all the stuff he finds is pretty impressive. I'm a bit envious. I can't really find anything in my area. So definitely check out Seth Brown Bomber, and he's the last person I'm going to tag. And basically, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.